Well, good evening, everybody. Hello, it's Ian Waterhouse here from my supercar. Now, on Sunday, we had a very special day up at Silverstone, as you can see from the image there. We were with the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup, and we had a rather warm day, I have to say, but it was full of intense action. Now, as a little treat this Wednesday night, we thought we'd play you back the action from Silverstone on the GP circuit. So we've got qualifying, both races, and a few snippets of behind the scenes action as well. I'm going to dip out and let you enjoy the action from Silverstone from Sunday for the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. Enjoy.
Right, good morning everybody, welcome to a very sunny Silverstone. Yes, it's time for the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup qualifying session live, and we're going to bring you all of the action throughout the day here at what is a glorious, glorious day. Now, I've enlisted the help of a very trusty sidekick today. Here he is, it's Charles Boniface is with us. Charles, pleasure to have you along today. Are you excited?
I'm very excited. It's a beautiful sunny day here at Silverstone, not a cloud in the sky, and people are going to go racing, so what more can you want?
I've got a big problem. I did forget my suntan lotion, so that could cause a problem.
I've got some with me in the car, so remind me. Good man.
Now, Charles, just look behind you. What a sight this is. Now, qualifying is probably 6 or 7 minutes or so away, so we thought we'd come down a little bit early, go for a walk and chat with some of the drivers, shall we? Let's grab a good friend of ours, Mr. Morgan Short. He's a race winner as well as this man, isn't he? Morgan, Alton Park, first ever race win. You're still buzzing from that?
Yeah, no, really looking forward to this one now. I mean, this track should suit the ZS a bit more than the Metro, but that will also bring in the Tomcats into it. I think there'll be a real, obviously the heat might be an issue for the turbos,
yeah,
but I think there'll be much more in it today than they were at Alton Park.
We're expecting them to go quick in qualifying, aren't we? Of course, later, the two races this afternoon, right in the heat. We are expecting that to kind of blow things up a little bit. But you're going to have Mike Williams probably buzzing around you again?
Yeah, of course, he's really quick. I've got no doubt he'll drag everything out of that Metro, and he'll be right on my tail, if not ahead of me. So, you know, I'll do my best. I know this place like the back of my hand. I know this place better than most. I've done the 2 24-hour races here and other races.
Well, of course, we were with you a couple of weeks ago for the C1s, weren't you? So, yeah.
Countless laps on the sim as well. So, you know, I would hope that I know this track as well as I can do. So, you know, I may have some sort of advantage, but like I said, the Tomcats will really be into it, and Mike will be on my tail or ahead of me as always.
Did you know you're doubly famous this weekend, because you're actually the headline image on the programme as well, if anybody can see that. Look, there we go. Look at that. Doubly famous.
We've got a new bonnet since that picture.
Oh, yeah.
After a bit of a shunt, but, you know, we finished the race, we won it, and now we've got a new, previously red bonnet. It's now painted black with a different colour green on it.
Nice.
But, you know, it does the job. We've fixed up all that was wrong with it, and yeah, we're ready to go again and qualify.
That's what we like to hear. Morgan Short feeling very pleased. Best of luck, Morgan. Talking of turbos, Charles, here is one of them.
Very
Richard
nice.
Buckley over. Richard, how you doing, mate? Yeah, it's blimey. Right, we're expecting big things from these Tomcats today. Are you confident?
No. It's going to be too hot for these things, I think.
You might be all right for qualifying.
Qualifying probably be okay. Race, I don't know, we'll just see on the temperatures, really.
Could you not just get a massive bag of ice cubes
That's
after each race and just chuck it on? So you are expecting heat to cause a few issues?
I would think it will do.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know. I mean, it's luck of the draw, really, isn't it?
Yeah. It is.
Yeah. See if I can follow him somewhere.
Stick with him.
Yeah.
Be all right.
I'll try.
And then just on a straight, boom.
Yeah. We'll give it a go.
Top man, Richard. Now let's go grab a quick chat with Peter Birchall, of course, because another interesting thing. Peter.
Hello mate, how you doing?
I'm very good indeed. Now, I've just been chatting to Richard. He thinks those turbos are going to suffer in this heat. Does that give you guys a bit of an opportunity, do you think?
I'm never going to count my chickens, but it might be nice. Let's be honest.
And you've got to handle Mike Williams' Metro as well still, though.
Yeah, to be fair, I think it's going to be interesting. We haven't been here for a few years. It's a hot day. I think all the cars might suffer a little bit from that. So we'll see how we get on, but it should be a lot of fun.
You've got a switch that says blower on there. I assume that's not air conditioning.
I wish it was. No, it's a demister, but actually everything will be on later, I tell you. And yeah, I'm one of my friends races another championship, and he's put a hard top on his MGF today. Why? I don't know.
Oh my word.
Yeah, but no, it'd be good fun. It'd be good fun, and yeah, nice to get everybody here racing, and there might be a bit of a treat in race 1. I just had the coordinator on the phone and the car course. Starting 20 seconds behind us will be some rather nice mini Libras, so they might get in the mix. So hopefully you might get some David and Goliath coverage of little minis all over us like wasps. I think that'd be great fun.
Oh, that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's great. Lovely. Thanks, Peter. Best of luck for the race. Cheers. Thank you. Let's keep moving down. Shall we? We've got Mr. Gill here. We've got Dan Jones over here on the left as well. Mike Williams, we're expecting Mike, a multiple winner in the MG Cup. We're expecting him to go well. Mike, tell us what I want to know. I think what everybody really wants to know is what was the party like on Friday night?
It was fantastic. I'm glad we weren't racing Saturday, that's all I can say. But of course, yeah, we knew we weren't racing Saturday, so we had a beer more than we normally would, maybe.
Yeah, but that's what we like, though. This is what club racing's about, isn't it?
It's part of the weekend.
Around, having a good time.
Exactly,
you know?
Yeah. It's part of the weekend that we come and enjoy. You know, we come here, tip up Friday, we have a few beers on Friday night, and enjoy the racing Saturday, and go out and do our own thing in our cars on Sunday. So.
And now it is Sunday, of course, qualifying about to come
all
up.
All serious now.
You're usually at the front of the grid. Are you expecting to be up there?
I'll be there or thereabouts, I think. I've got a big disadvantage here now because I'm going to run out of revs in 5th gear going down Hanger Straight, so I'm vulnerable. I think I'll be more vulnerable in the race because you can obviously keep a time and whatever in qualifying, but if someone passes me on the Hanger Straight, I can only defend it once.
Yeah, it's so
they're
wide,
going to go past,
well?
you know.
Yeah.
It's 17 metres wide down there or something.
Yeah,
so I'll do well to defend that, won't I?
You'll be fine, Mike.
So
I know
it
you.
is what it is. I'm going to go out and enjoy it like I always do. Hopefully I won't run out of revs, but I'm pretty sure I will because I've done it before, and I've got a lower rev range with this engine this year that they've made me use. So I'm limited to 7,000 revs. It's obviously MGZR engine and gearbox. I don't have the 17-inch wheels of the MGZR. Yeah. So I haven't got that speed. I'll get to about 114, we think, through calculations.
Okay.
That's it.
Right.
So,
okay.
I reckon just after the bridge on Hanger Straight, I'll hit the red line.
Yeah, you need corners, don't you?
I do, yeah.
you need Cadwell Park, that's what you need. Mike, best of luck, mate.
Thank you very much.
To us. Multiple classes here as well. We've got obviously the A class, we have the B class and the C class. The C class.
Ian, if I can talk about Ian.
Yeah, please do.
So I was talking to Ian last night.
And here he is.
Hi, mate.
Hello, Ian.
How are you doing?
Very well.
A little birdie told me, Ian, that you had to build this car in 6 weeks after a little mishap at Brands. And
it's not built, it was a track day car.
Track day
So
car
we had to convert it.
had to be converted, yeah.
I think you might remember what happened at Brands Hatch. Well, actually, you were quite confused what happened at Brands Hatch.
I was, yes.
So I went flying into the tyre wall, pretty much flat out, bounced over, rolled over.
So, importantly, you're okay.
Oh, yeah.
And you're back. That's the most important thing,
A
right?
lot of help from my mechanic, Doug, and Pete done me a favour, getting me a new crash helmet, new harnesses, and all the other bits and pieces from new fire extinguisher, gets back on the road.
A few more runoff areas here, though, at Silverstone.
Oh, yeah,
right,
I'm not planning on testing the tyre wall again.
That's good, man. Ever.
We've done a test. Tyre testing for years been done, so, yeah.
And how did they hold up the walls? All right?
Yeah, it's a good wall.
Did the job?
Yeah. I was more worried about Paul Marshall just standing behind it as I come flying in towards him.
do you know, I mean, we jest, but it's great to see that you're actually in good spirits about it. And back race, it's just nice to be out in the car, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I sat at home when you lot were out in the park getting jealous. Went, right, let's get this one on the track. Come out. So it's still Class A, it's not the Class B where I've been for the last few years, so I don't know what I'm going to get out of it. It is literally just a track day car with a safety gear bolted in, so it might be good, it might be rubbish. We'll find out later on.
We certainly will. We'll find out in about 20 minutes as well. Best of luck for qualifying. Chicken flags has just fallen, actually. Good morning, you all right? Good morning. Checkered flag, checkered flag just fallen for the first qualifying session of the day. Now it is time for the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup cars to take to the track very, very shortly. Of course, we're on a GP circuit, Charles, so it does take about half an hour for the slow down laps, doesn't it, for the cars to get back out. We're going to stick down here. We're going to watch them come out. It makes a real sight watching these cars pull out onto the circuit. Then we're going to get into the grandstand for you and run the full commentary throughout this qualifying session as well. It's going to be a cracker. Who's it going to be, Charles? I want to know your prediction because I actually think this is really going to throw up a few curveballs. Is it going to be a turbo? Is it going to be Morgan Shaw? Is it going to be Mike Williams in that Metro? Can the turbos hold out? Or is Peter Birchall going to chuck a surprise in? We know he's quick. What do you think?
I think, stick with, is it Lee Morgan?
It's Morgan Shaw.
Morgan Shaw, sorry. Yeah, I think, you know, after how he performed at Alton, I think he's got a good car underneath him, and obviously a talented driver as well. As he said, he knows the circuit very well, so really, he's sort of boxed himself into a corner. There's nowhere for him to hide, and
I love that.
he has to do well.
Yeah, he's put pressure on himself, only by admitting he did the C1 24-hour race about 2 weeks ago. So
exactly,
he's probably done about 5,000 laps around here this year already. So yeah, he should know his way around. Of course, a little bit quicker in his MGZR there, but yes, certainly a lot of stories going through as well. So Class A, we have Stephen Hiley, Stephen Bryant, John Gill, Steve Tyler, Chris Whitewick, Ian Bolton we just spoke to as well, getting that car ready to be here. Class B, we've got Dan Jones, Maddie Maguire, I believe is here, come down from Scotland last night. Jason Burgess, Rod Weston, Bartholomew. Class C, the cars we do expect to be leading the groups out. Peter Birchall, Kaylee Twigger, Matthew Simpson, Richard Buckley, Mike Williams, Dave Harrison, Craig Baston, Nigel Baston and Morgan Short. I chatted to the Bastons yesterday, actually. They're on their 5th engine in that car already since they got it. It's not been a lucky car, and of course at Alton Park, I think they put about 1 race lap in total for the entire weekend. So fingers crossed the Baston car is going to have a clean weekend here.
Fingers crossed, yeah. Interestingly, again, when I was talking to Ian about his 6-week rebuild, I know the car has been running quite well and tested. As he apparently it was all done in the trip to the Shell garage to grab petrol last night. So that was the test that he put in, and it is road legal. As he said, he's converted it from a track day car into a race car in a short period of time. And is still road legal, which obviously all the cars in Class A are road legal cars with a cage and some braided brake lines, and I believe that's pretty much all Class A is.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic, though, isn't it?
It's that sort of affordable motorsport that keeps the grids and this series being able to be subscribed up to, I think, 32 entries for this season.
It's wonderful, isn't it? It certainly is. And great information there, Charles. If anybody does want to find out more about the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup, you can. There's a link in the body of the text of this broadcast. Just click it and it'll take you straight through to the MG Cup website. And also comment below as well, who do you think is going to get the job done in qualifying? Who's going to be on pole in each of the 3 classes? Charles Boniface, my partner in crime for today, thinks the outright pole is going to go to Morgan Short there on the right. I'm going to back a turbo in this one because I think for qualifying they're going to be okay. I think the races they might overheat, but I think in qualifying, I'm going to say, I know Richard Buckley's quick. You're going Morgan Short there on the right. I'm going to go Richard Buckley on the left.
Sounds like
and I do like, I used to have a Rover 200.
Right.
Not a Tomcat Turbo, but it was a Rover 200. So similar sort of shape, wasn't a coupe shape.
Yeah.
So I have a bit of an affiliation with them, you know.
Well,
I have a bit of a love for them. It was my first ever car.
Well, as you know, Ian, some of my own racing, the KAs, we used to run the 8 configuration for our number, so
there you go.
Morgan's got to have us there. Obviously, Alex used to run the 888.
We should have a bit of an ongoing bet on this all day, shouldn't we? If anybody wants to get involved in our little bet, of course we don't. So,
we probably won't be betting money. Probably just sandwiches.
Yeah, we'll bet cups of coffee.
Yeah, cups of coffee sounds good.
We are just waiting for, I think it was the Equipped GTS car, just to finish up their qualifying. That was the first track action of the day here at Silverstone. It's almost time for the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup to roar into life here at Silverstone. We're on the GP circuit. What sort of lap times do you think we're going to be doing, Charles? For the Class C cars, let's go for those.
I'm not too sure, actually. I mean, I think maybe about 2:40.
Yeah,
might be quite shout. Decent. Yeah, around that sort of time. Without actually driving one myself, I wouldn't be able to tell you, or have half an idea of how fast they can go around here. I mean, I can imagine through the corners as well. They're probably still going to be travelling pretty fast. I mean, I would love to be out there driving Maggots, Becks and Chapel.
You would like to be doing it in Mike Williams' Metro, I can tell you that. It is so rapid through the corners, and then of course the turbo is going to come into their own on the straights. As we said, interesting to hear from Mike Williams. I think he's going to sort of top out at about 114. And of course, it's just interesting. I mean, the turbos can probably whiz straight past that, can't they? And of course, overtaking, I imagine, never having driven it in race conditions, but I imagine Silverstone a relatively easy track to overtake on.
It is a relatively easy track to overtake on. I myself have only done the international side of it, so Stowe, Vale, all of that side of things. But yeah, Hangar is it's one of those straights that usually you see a lot of snaking, a lot of trains. And it does lead for some good overtaking both into Stowe and all round this circuit, to be honest. With how wide the track is, you can go 2 abreast or even 3 abreast, as we've seen some drivers do in the past. So as they all roll out for qualifying now.
There you go then. We've got a left here. Let's go all the way. There they go. There's Maddie. Right, so we're going to get ourselves into position. Charles, you're a racer yourself. You've done a lot of racing. Do you get nervous when you're sat in that assembly area? What's it like?
It kind of depends, really. It depends on the situation that you're in on that weekend. If you've tested and you're feeling confident, usually you'll be, well, pretty confident, pretty relaxed, and you'll just be thinking about what you need to do, where you need to brake. Maybe doing a little bit of visualisation of the circuit and what you need to do, and then when it's time, you just go out and do it.
Absolutely. We're seeing the cars coming around now, the first bit of action we're seeing. Of course, they went straight out, so these will be flying laps already. As you can certainly see Mike Williams in the Metro giving it good beats. There's Dave Harrison in 54 coming round. Dan Jones as well. There goes Ian Bolton, unmissable in the yellow MG Class A. Of course, Morgan Short's, let me just tell you, you said 240, didn't you, these times? Morgan Short's done a 236.856. He is obviously provisional pole, still a long, long, long way to go. Of course, this is, we still have 17 minutes of this qualifying session left to go. There's a Rod Weston Bartholomew just coming through as well. Lovely conditions today, isn't it? But the turbo drivers seem to be very concerned. I mean, surely turbos can handle a bit of heat, can't they? Surely.
Well, they can to a certain extent, but obviously the hotter everything is, the harder not only the turbo has to work, but also the intercooler.
Yeah.
You know, the cooler air is, the more dense it is, and therefore the more bang for your buck you can get by the time it hits the cylinder. So it's not only that, but obviously all the extra pressure and temperature that goes through an engine and goes through a turbo when it's spinning at high RPMs is probably, I think, what they're all a bit concerned about. It's doubly bad for them, I guess, as well, because they'll be running a lot in dirty air if they want a quick lap. I mean, I don't think I'll be too far wrong if I make the prediction or assumption that slipstreaming down Hangar Straight and down the Wellington Straight could be a key to a pole time here. You know, such long straights, slipstreaming could make the difference of that half a second or even maybe half a second.
We saw that yesterday with the minis, and we're going to see it a little bit later today as well. It makes a big difference, doesn't it? Hence the reason they go all out. I mean, a lot of people looking at this thinking, me personally, I thought, well, there's a big empty space now. I could just go out now. I've got the track to myself. I can really focus, I can really get in. But like you said, you want to get tucked up behind somebody, don't you? Coming down the Wellington Straight and the Hangar Straight, of course.
Have the person in front of you be the person to punch the hole in the air, and you can drive through a nice gap with less resistance. Look at that, cocking the wheel, cocking the rear wheel as he's turning into the corners there.
He certainly is, isn't he? Morgan Short, the fastest man so far.
Absolutely
he is
on it.
What's he going to do this time coming around? Is he going to go even quicker?
That's my prediction here.
Here's Peter Birchall and Richard Buckley. Buckley in fourth, Birchall in third. So these turbos yet to light up. Still plenty of time, of course. This is only second flying laps. There goes Mike Williams. He'll be right up there. He's currently second, but he's 10 seconds off Short at the minute. Short goes quicker. He does a 2:35.964. What can Birchall do? What can Buckley do? Matthew Simpson is always worth a watch out for as well. He's very quick on the podium last time out at Alton Park as well. let's have a look. Where are we starting to get into now? 2 flying laps start to complete, and it's Richard Buckley who goes second in that black Tomcat, but he's done a 2:42. Mike Williams though has gone second now, 2:37.456, but it's still short as a 1.5 second lead in Class C at the minute. Wonderful stuff. Simpson in third, so the Tomcats starting to fire. There's Baston, number 92. There's Katie Twigger in car 15. Tyler, 47. Maddie McGuire in 23 in Class B coming round.
It's interesting to watch, Ian, that different drivers have different lines for the final turn here at Woodcote. Some opting for a sort of tighter line and just a consistent radius, and some opting for a slightly wider line with a consistent radius, and some opting for going in that little bit deep, getting the car turned, and then really getting on the power to really open up the straight.
What would you do here? Would you take the
early.
wide line in and cut the apex in two, essentially?
I think, to be honest, it sort of depends on the car that you've got. I mean, if you've got a car that can really get on the power quite well and can grip well while turning and everything, and you can get good rotation in the car, you could probably have a pretty decent, consistent radius and get good speed out like that. But I think personally, for a qualifying lap, especially if I was starting a lap here and going out to set up that one lap that I was just about to absolutely nail, I think I would probably go in that little bit deep, open up the corner and get on the power nice and early and really punch a hole down the straight. But that's obviously my own personal preference and views on the matter. I'm sure many drivers have many different styles and they would probably most disagree with me. So.
Well, like you say, it's the impossible question, isn't it? It's personal. There goes Morgan Short again, the fastest man out on the track. 2:35.964 is getting the job done. He's about to finish his third full-lane lap here for qualifying. Still got 12.5 minutes left to go. Still plenty of action.
Fast man doing just what I just said.
There you go, Charles. It's written in the stars,
great
isn't it?
minds, great minds.
You can obviously hear this commentary then in his car, I think.
He's listening to driver tips.
He's certainly got himself a bit of clean air here, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And here comes, oh, look at this. There goes Mike Williams, Buckley and Birchall as well come around. And Williams on a bit of a flyer at the minute, isn't it? Like I said, not the top speed that Williams wants, but he's so quick around the corners in these metros. There's Matthew Simpson as well. Keep an eye out for him. He's very quick. A lot of blue smoke coming out the back of that car, though.
That little red Metro is absolutely flying.
But look at Buckley now. He's got the turbo in that car. He's really starting to close up the gap a bit, wasn't he? Matthew Simpson sounded like he was getting a bit out of sorts, didn't he, coming through there? 3-3 is Wayne Sterling Parker. There's Dave Harrison. There's Dan Jones coming through.
One thing I will say about Morgan's car is it does look very well balanced. Watching him as he turns in, he's got that inside rear wheel lifted. Yeah. But it's just a nice, it's not bouncing, it's just got a nice consistent height as he's turning in and round until he gets all back on all fours again. He's not having to fight the car, everything looks very smooth, very under control, and it's actually a pleasure to watch.
It is, isn't it? It's a man and machine at one, shall we say.
Exactly.
So it is Morgan Short's outright pole position as it stands at the minute. Mike Williams in second, Matthew Simpson in third, Buckley in fourth, Birchall in fifth, Jones in sixth, Harrison in seventh, Sterling Parker in eighth, Twigger in ninth. All that's just changed. Paddy Twigger's just jumped up to eighth past Wayne Sterling Parker, who is now in ninth, Tyler in 10th, Bolton in 11th, Baston in 12th, McGuire in 13th, Gill in 14th, Hiley in 15th, and Whitewick in 16th. And there is Whitewick in the little MGF there.
Ah.
I do like an MGF.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, classic. I actually like the MGF, and I like a Mitsubishi FTO, sort of similar.
Oh yeah,
sort of
yeah. The FTO, I can see the appeal.
In fact, comment below what is your favourite little sports car, shall we say? MGF's got to be up there, isn't it? Comment below. Do tell us what is your favourite. Mine's a Mitsubishi FTO, but I'm partial to an MGF.
Little Triumph Sprint.
Triumph Sprint, yeah.
Or a little Spitfire.
Yeah. Not a little, is it, what was that Fiat? Was it Barchetta or something?
Yes, yeah, the little Barchetta.
Remember those?
Would you put a VX220 into that category?
I would, yeah. Yep, very quick.
Not a bad
if you're going to drive one on a racetrack, get a VX220. Absolutely rapid.
See what I mean, Ian? See how that wheel's just
mind
up
you, he
and
just
then
kicked the curb there though and got a bit of air time, I think, there.
Well, at least we know he's pushing.
He is certainly pushing. He didn't go faster last time. What can he do this time? Did that little area there just cost him a little bit. Let's wait and see. Here comes Mike Williams, and look at Buckley. He's all over the back. They just can't get away, can they? Now we're starting to see these top cap turbos starting to fire, aren't we? And this is going to make for a great race one, isn't it? Look at Mike Williams' power sliding around in that Metro, isn't he?
The rotation on that car, he must be having a great time in there.
And Matthew Simpson, every time he comes around that little section, makes a whopping grey noise in that Tomcat.
It's interesting as well, some drivers using more curb than others.
I can tell you.
Both on the apex and on the exit coming through this section as well.
I can tell you though, Buckley has now gone third, so short is still your race on provisional pole rather, 2:35.964. I think he did that on the second lap, so he's on his fifth line lap at the minute. Williams in second at 2:37.456, and Buckley, we just saw, really getting close to Williams there, 2:38.071. Katie Twigger just coming into our shot there in another Tomcat. He's got a registration plate that says Dad won. Of course, Katie Twigger very sadly lost her father, Chris Twigger, earlier this year, and of course, I thought sadly with the Twigger family. I have to say, Chris Twigger, I've got very, very fond memories of him. Always a wonderful host. Every track time, he'd always invite us in for a cup of tea into their motorhome, and absolutely wonderful, wonderful family.
One of the feelings that I got from this series, we're talking to a few of them last night, is that that's part of what the series is all about. Half of it's about the racing, but it's also about the socialising side of things as well. They keep everything nice and friendly and have a lot of socials.
Well, we weren't joking when we were talking to Mike Williams. There was a party on Friday night out in the car park here at Silverstone, and hosted by Mike Williams and Matthew Simpson, and it was wonderful. I think there was about 10 or so people up there just having a barbecue, just having a few drinks, just having a good time, just enjoying themselves, and that's a lot of... it's the on-track action, but it's the social side as well that really makes it. If you're spending an entire weekend at a racetrack, you've got to get on with the people as well, haven't you?
Oh, for sure, yeah. It's something that I think you'll find a lot in club racing especially, but it's I think maybe a side of racing that a lot of people spectating don't necessarily get to see.
You see Short's wheel up there, sorry to cut you off there, but
fine.
literally he was going around on 3 wheels there, brilliant stuff. This is going to be a quick lap, this is going to be the fastest lap so far.
This looks tidy. If the rest of the lap is looking like this, it looks tidy. Depending on the cars, we could be getting to a point at some point. I mean, I'm not sure about the tyre compounds that these run, but you might end up getting a bit of overheating at some point if the compound's a bit too soft, especially with the temperatures today. So that could be interesting.
We've got 7 minutes of this qualifying session left to go. If you're, say, Richard Buckley or Matthew Simpson there in one of the Tomcats, might you think about just coming in a bit early there? Just pulling a lap or two in early and just protecting the car ahead of race one, you know?
Well, every driver, I'm sure, that's running the turbos, I'm sure they've invested in some gauges to tell them how hot they're going to get. It'd be maybe a little bit foolish or naive not to.
I think you could be right there, yeah.
Especially for days like today. So I'm sure they're watching those gauges like hawks, and I'm sure if any of them think it's getting a little bit too warm, I think you're right. They might be playing the long game here.
Well, Peter Birchill's cockpit looked like a fighter jet. It was quite incredible, all those switches. Now, I can tell you as well, that was the fastest lap by Morgan Short as well. Only just. He's done a 2:35.902. But Mike Williams is a man going very quick. The gap between the top two is down to 0.273 of a second. Mike Williams just did a 2:36.175, so there's not a lot in it at all. Buckley, a 2:38.071. Simpson in fourth with a 2:38.813. Then we've got Birchall in fifth, Jones in sixth, Harrison in seventh, Twigger in eighth, Tyler in ninth, Sterling Parker in 10th, Basin in 11th, Bolton in 12th, Maguire in 13th, Hiley in 14th, Gill in 15th, and Whitewick in 16th in that glorious MGF.
Seems like this is the part of qualifying that the drivers have all got to that point now. They've done a few laps, they're building confidence, and they're just starting to push the limits of what they think they can get away with. And this is when it's the time should either fall or someone's going to go for a tumble.
Someone's going to make a mistake. Do you know what? I'm going to give commentators curse right now.
Oh, go on.
I was here all day yesterday as well, and we did the BCV8s and we did the minis, and I didn't see one safety car at all yesterday.
You're a brave man. You're a brave man.
I am really playing with fate right now. Yeah. And here comes Morgan Short, the man on provisional pole in that lovely black and green livered 888 MG ZR. Look at it going around there, and what can he do? He's a 235.902. The big question is, it's not necessarily what Morgan Short has to do, it's what can Mike Williams do, because at the minute Morgan Short is on provisional pole position. Mike Williams is in second place. Could Short put himself in a great position to pick up his second ever race win, and back-to-back race wins in the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. He won race 2 last time out at Alton Park as well in a titanic tussle with that man. Oh! And Mike Williams had to bail out of that one pretty quick, didn't he?
I think he was just caught out there by the slower car in front of him, jumping on the brakes long before he expected it.
Absolutely, and unfortunately that wiped out his lap, so he's going to have to get his head down for this one now, and hopefully that hasn't given Whitewick the frighteners either.
Yeah, well, I'm sure his eyes are definitely on stalks if they weren't already.
That wouldn't have happened if I hadn't said I hadn't seen a safety car.
I know.
They would have got through smoothly. That's my fault.
It is.
I take full responsibility. I can tell you Wayne Sterling Parker is coming to the pits, car 333. So Sterling Parker is in the pits. No, it's not. It is a ZR 170 in Class B. Similar to Dan Jones's car.
Yeah.
The white one behind there, just coming through, white and blue.
This is it's definitely interesting to see how during qualifying each driver will obviously push and find the limits, to also take data for the race so they know what to expect later on. Obviously the circuit should be a little bit more rubbered in later on, should be a little bit hotter, which depending on the car and tyre compounds you're running can be better or worse for the cars. But it's also the beauty of racing here at Silverstone is that anyone, I was told, anyone on the front 3 rows of the grid has a chance of being right at the front by the time they get to turn 1 here. So, you know, qualifying isn't the be-all and end-all. We're not at Monaco, but it does obviously put you in a very good position if you can break away from the field and
if you've got the pace and you get away
lead
here,
away.
There's a lot of empty air, isn't there? There's a lot of empty space. We see it in qualifying. It's a long lap time. It's as we said before as well, Peter Birchall in the assembly area saying it's the first time we've actually done the Grand Prix circuit for the MG Cup for quite a while. And you know, part of me wonders, and look again, 3 wheels for Morgan Short. Part of me does wonder if, you know, the action might be better on the national circuit, on the slightly shorter one, but
it's just so composed, that car, isn't it? But no, you could be right, Ian. I mean, if the top 2 get away and break the toe, I mean, this circuit is all important, especially for the cars with not as much straight line speed. It's all important that they get into the toe. So if you can be on the front row of the grid, make a great start and break that 1 or 2 second gap that you need to break the toe, you can drive away. Especially if it means that the drivers behind are in a line of 6 cars and they're all fighting for position. They're going to hold each other up, and if you're one of those 1 or 2 people that have made that brilliant start off the front row, you're sitting in the pound seats because you're pretty much confirming a good result, barring any mechanical or other mishaps.
Well, we were just talking about there a minute or so ago, you're saying now's the time to make your move, isn't it? And I can tell you something, Mike Williams has made his move. Mike Williams just goes fastest, a 235.753. Morgan Short went faster as well, he did a 235.823, but it's now Williams on provisional pole in that red Metro. Mike Williams on provisional pole, 235.753. We are now on the final flying laps as well, so this is it. If Morgan Short's going to snatch back pole position, he's going to have to do it this time round, otherwise Mike Williams is going to be on pole, unless Richard Buckley or Matthew Simpson can pull an absolute blinder out of the bag right at the death here in qualifying. Peter Birchall's in 5th, Dan Jones in 6th, Harrison in 7th, Twigger in 8th, Tyler in 9th, Bolton in 10th, Wayne Sterling Parker in 11th, but in the pits, Baston in 12th, Hiley 13th, Maguire 14th, Gill 15th, and Whitewick in 16th. So it's all down to this, and this is what we want. It's a final lap qualifying shootout, Charles. Isn't this exciting? Isn't this exactly what we wanted to see?
This is absolutely brilliant. I mean, the fact that there is literally only 7 hundredths of a second dividing these two top drivers, and I mean that's insane. You're talking less than a blink of an eye kind of time now is dividing the top two, and as you rightly say, Ian, it can go either way.
It certainly can. I can tell you the checkered flag has fallen as well, so the cars you're seeing will meet the checkered flag now. So Twigger has finished. He won't go any higher than 7th. Ian Bolton has finished. He won't go higher than 10th. Tyler's over the line. He won't go any faster than 9th place, and this is it.
I think it could be important to note, Ian, that this isn't necessarily the end of
Morgan
qualifying.
Short's pulled it. Morgan Short's coming off.
Let's hope that's not a mechanical failure. Maybe he's just bailed out and he's done enough.
Maybe
he's saving the car.
I mean, there's nothing to choose between them, so that does mean Mike Williams is on pole position, and Mike Williams has decided to call it a day as well. They're both going to come into the pits. Maybe just save the tyres a little bit, I guess.
Save the tyres, save the engine.
I would just wonder if Morgan's aware, actually, that Mike has gone. I wonder if did they actually know? Did they know where they are on the grid when they're in the car? Unless they've got a team member talking to them.
If they've got comms, then they might do. But usually in qualifying, you don't know where you are. You go out, you put in a time, you hope it's good enough for a good position, and I mean, most of these drivers will know what a decent time is round here, or sort of the ballpark they need to be aiming for. And with the data loggers that they should have on board, they'll know if they're in the ballpark for a good time or not.
Well, you just know, don't you, when you're driving?
Yeah.
I mean, Morgan will have known when he's pulling away from everybody behind that probably in with a shot here.
And you know, as you go through the lap as well, you know that felt good, that felt clean. You've got a good rotation in the car. You're not sliding about the place. You're not, you know when you're driving a good lap and when you're on a good one. And maybe they've done enough, and they don't fancy another tour of this long GP circuit. At half race speed, so they've just pulled it in. Not the worst thing to do.
So that is qualifying a done deal. Congratulations to Mike Williams. If we could just pop up the TSL screen so you can have a little look for yourself at the results.
Now, of course, the good thing as well is that this isn't actually the end of qualifying for these cars, because the beauty of one of the things that this championship does offer is a shared car seat, which means that one driver could do one race, one driver can do race two. So I believe we do have one or two shared cars out there.
I'll just get it up for you so you can have a little look.
This is where we're all checking our notes, trying to find and remember who it is. But I do know that there is at least one out there. I believe it is the car of number 92.
Yeah, Craig and Nigel.
Craig and Nigel Basin, I believe a father and son team.
Yeah.
And they have the option, basically, is they put their fastest driver in now, and he'll go out and qualify the car for the grid possession for race one, which that driver will do. And the second driver can go out during another qualifying session in another series' qualifying session this morning. He will qualify at the back of the grid, but obviously you have to do 3 laps to qualify. So he'll go out, he'll do his 3 laps, get an eye in for the car and the circuit, start at the back of the grid for race 2.
Yeah.
But what that does offer is it means that he will inevitably get loads more overtaking.
Yeah.
But it also means that they can share an entry fee, so the costs come down, and it's another way that it's a championship that you can enter, and the drivers will share points as well, so they will still hold where they are in the drivers' standings. And it's another way to make motorsport a little bit more affordable for a club level and share out all the hassle of having to work on a car and pay for an entry fee and tyres and everything else.
Wonderful stuff, right, and that is the end of qualifying for the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. Congratulations to Mike Williams, but of course Morgan Short and Mike Williams, we're in for a real treat for the opening race of the day. We will, of course, bring you all the full classifieds and class positions for you ahead of race 1. Before we do that, we're going to head off to a break, and the next time you see us, we're going to go for a little pit walk and get some behind-the-scenes action. We'll be back live very soon. Right, hello everybody, welcome down to the Silverstone paddock here after qualifying for the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. Partner in crime has joined me once again, Charles. Charles Boniface, talk us through qualifying. Did you enjoy that?
I did, yeah. It was an exciting qualifying session, really. I mean, really close as well. I mean, only, what, 7/100ths of a second, not even tenths, but 7/100ths of a second separating the top two. So I think we're going to have a bit of a scrappy race on our hands. It's going to be incredible. Just like we saw at Alton Park, there'll be Morgan Short, Mike Williams. They're going to be going toe-to-toe. Mike Williams on pole position outright. And then, of course, we've got Morgan Short just behind him in second. Now, we actually had a quick chat with Morgan Short, didn't we? Overheating was the reason why he didn't get his last flying lap in, wasn't it? Yeah, overheating, which is why he pulled in early, and also tyre pressures. Obviously, it's a hot day today. Very common thing for drivers to either underestimate or not quite take into consideration how much pressure will come into the tyres with all the added heat once you actually get out there and start pounding around. So he told us he reckons there's another half a second in his lap time between traffic and the problems that he was having.
So the big question is, does Mike Williams have half a second or second? Now, fortunately, Mike is over the other side of the world in the biggest paddock on planet Earth here at Silverstone, so we're not going to get a chance to have a chat with him now, but we have come down to the paddock to have a little chat with a number of the drivers. Before we do that, if we could just pop the qualifying results up on the screen for you so you can have a little look. I'll just run you through the clarifications for you too. So obviously Mike Williams on pole in Class C, Morgan Short, Richard Buckley, Matthew Simpson, Peter Birchall all in top 5 in Class C. You've got Dan Jones in Class B. Steve Tyler is the man on pole position in Class A as well. So plenty of excitement to happen. We've come down to some of the Tomcats as well, just to have a little look about. I want to see, wonder if Kaylee's knocking around. Is she? No worries, Dave. We'll come to you instead. It's hot. Is that going to be a problem?
Yeah. Sweat starts to run down your face. You can't see.
Yeah. I mean, that's very true. That's very true. I meant we're actually with the turbos in the car, so we.
Yeah. Well, I think the tyres get very hot. That's one of the biggest problems. And for me, I think I've done a track day here before, so it's not totally new, but yeah, just getting the right lines and trying to understand the circuit's been quite difficult.
But you've got plenty of time to get around. I mean, it's what, 2 minutes 40 or so a lap, isn't it? There's plenty of time out there. You can almost read a book down some of these straights.
Well, maybe we could try. We could try.
Yeah, I mean, I said it, I'm not driving, so it's easy for me to say, isn't it? What's the expectation for the race, Dave?
Try and keep up with Kaylee, I guess. They've had to change the gearbox on this one.
Right.
So hopefully, I mean, he knows what he's doing, so it does. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, have some fun more than anything.
And make sure you keep that sweat out your face as well. Thank you. Here he is, Richard. You did all right in qualifying, actually. Do you think is there more pace?
It wasn't too, well, it could be if I can learn how to drive the thing and actually put it through Vale. If I can get that right, there's a plenty in there.
Yeah.
And well, the two sharp left-handers, and obviously coming into Vale, then out the fast bit, out of the new complex. If I can get those two bits right, there's probably second half of.
I did see during qualifying at one point, I think you had Mike Williams in front of you, but you were powering on to the start-finish line, and the speed difference for you to him in your favour was wonderful. So the power is there.
The power's there, yeah. But obviously so much heavier.
Yeah.
So much heavier, and I keep going too quick into the corners. I just need to slow down to go faster, I think.
Slow down to go faster.
Yeah, it sounds mad, but it does work sometimes.
It does sound Richard, those are talking to us. Best of luck. Right, slow down to go faster. Now, Charles, you actually do a bit of driver coaching, don't you? Is that one you're going to start teaching all the drivers? If you want to go faster, slow down.
It's true. He's not wrong in what he's saying. A lot of the times you'll see, especially with overly keen drivers, or if you're trying to make up too much time too soon, maybe if they've not quite had the testing that they've had, is you'll go into a corner knowing the car should be able to do it, but not quite, and miss the apex or carry too much speed in and compromise your exit. sometimes just drawing back everything a metre or so is enough to open up the corner, open up the steering, and carry loads more speed through, get a great exit, and especially if you're coming, you know, if you're going into Chapel a little bit too hot and you're getting a bad exit, you're carrying that deficit all the way up along Hanger Straight until you get into Stowe. And Stowe's not a slow corner, so you know, you're basically a sitting duck for 10 seconds of this lap, maybe even more.
That's not a lot of fun either. Let's keep going. We've got the Class A cars of Hiley and Tyler over here as well. Here is Kaylee. Kaylee.
Hello, are you all right?
Yes. Right, before you head off, you've got the bucket. I
Yes.
see, obviously, a very important charity. Just tell us about it and how we can donate.
You can either do it online or via Facebook or anything, or if you're here. But yeah, we're raising awareness for MND. My dad died on the 10th of March from it, and obviously we've decided as a race family to push it, to try and get as much awareness, because they've all seen him suffer and it's broke them all. So hopefully...
The charity name is the Motor Neurone Disease
Association.
Association.
Yes, it's MNDA, Motor Neurone Disease Association. So, but anything will help to help people, just because there's no cure for it. No. And there never will be, so
please donate. Please do head over to the MNDA website and please do donate. Qualifying, are you happy?
Yeah, I got a few problems. They think the diff in the gearbox was breaking down, so they've changed it, and some new shafts again as usual. So yeah, they hate me. But I leave them to it. I'm going to take box.
Good on you. Cheers, Kaylee. We'll see you for race one. Yes, as I said, we've got the Class A. That's Kaylee Twigger there in the Rover Tomcat, looking like a little bit of work needs doing. Let's grab the boys over here, shall we? Look at this glorious blue. The sun's shining. It's a lovely day.
It's changed, didn't it?
It does. I've normally got a brolly with me, haven't I? In fact, I'm moaning today because it's too hot.
Yeah.
What's it like? How are the cars coping?
The cars are fine, actually. We came testing on Friday. I'm not sure whether we're as quick as we were in testing. It's a bit cold on Friday. Yeah. But they're going all right. The car's fine. I'm back in mine just for this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Because Jay goes racing his Ferrari at Donington. You know, why not? If you've got one. Why not? When you choose Ferrari, ZR.
I think he's letting the team down.
He's letting the team down, but they have allowed me to go with his number, so we're making the points up. So if we do well today, and we put it first in class. So if I can stay there, doing him a favour, really.
Yes.
But it was nice for him to give me a car back for a day.
It certainly is. Is it nice to be back out then?
It actually is quite good fun, yeah. We came here on Friday with Stephen's car. Stephen went and got some runs in, and I went out for a few laps just to get acquainted, especially with Vale, because they've changed it this year. Apart from that, you're all good. It's probably about 6 degrees in the car, I reckon, when you're in there, strapped in with layers and helmet and all that stuff on. But no, it's all good. Car's running good. I went faster than Friday, just about. Stephen's gone much faster than Friday, which is good, so he's third in class.
Brilliant.
And we're amongst the Class Bs. There's a couple of Class Cs in there as well. Yeah. So it should be interesting, as long as it... I don't mind the heat, I don't mind.
I don't think the weather's going to change, I mean...
No, it's not. It's a bit uncomfortable at times, but when you race, you don't notice.
You don't notice
it. You're too switched on.
Top man, of course.
How are you finding... Sorry, Ian, how are you finding the grip levels out there?
I thought they were all right. Someone said I was getting a bit slippery at times when they overheat, but our fastest lap was on lap 7 of 8, or 6 of 7, whatever it was. So no, nothing. I think we got it right. Anyhow, we haven't made a mistake yet. Maybe in race 1 we'll go completely the wrong way with tyre pressures or whatever. But
you won't.
Do you think there's a potential of too much grip coming in by the end of the day with all the rubber going down, or
maybe.
Do you think?
Yeah, maybe it's going to. I don't know what the weather's like at 4 o'clock, but probably still hot. I would think. Yeah, no, should be okay. Should be okay. As long as the cars get back in one piece. We don't do it, you know. We don't embarrass ourselves.
You won't. You never do, and you've got a smile on your face, haven't you?
Oh, I know. It's been a while since I've been back here, so it's quite good fun. 2018 I was here, and we did all right, but nothing spectacular. So yeah, looking for better things this year.
Top man. Look, I'll let you crack on. Get you guys, get yourselves ready. Let's keep going. Let's have a quick look at because we've got Nigel and Craig Baston down here. You had a chat with him. I've had a chat with them as well, and I believe they said this is like the 5th engine that they're on so far. Since they've had this car, we've got Rod Weston Bartholomew's car behind. In fact, I bumped into his wife a little bit earlier. As well, how are we doing, guys? All right?
Oh yeah, superb, mate.
You have more work on it.
always got more work to do.
Are you just sitting down because it's actually quite cool on the floor?
It's lovely.
It's nice, isn't it?
Might take on the clothes off, and I don't want to film that. Yeah, it actually seem to go all right driving-wise. We're just having a problem with gear selection. It goes into fifth and then comes straight back out.
Right.
So, and when you've got to hold it into fifth, when you go try and put it into fourth, it don't like it. So, I'm going to take all the gearbox oil out and put some fresh stuff in and
I always find it incredible how sort of relaxed you guys are, despite the fact there's a lot of work to do. And yeah, we'll just sort out the gearbox, we'll just do this, we'll just do that, just as if it's just any old day, innit?
He drives an automatic as a daily car. No, I think we've now accepted. I think we've now accepted that we're always going to do something, and we're always going to have work to do. But yeah, it's part of the weekend for us. We always got to work. We didn't finish the car until yesterday.
Yeah.
We put the engine in at home, and we noticed that the engine that's in it's from my car, and it hasn't moved in 3 years. So we had to change the camshaft seals yesterday as they were leaking. But in qualifying, I had no oil, no burning of oil, no high temperature, no nothing. There's no wood to touch. But touch wood. Touch wood. We'll see how it is in the race.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to finish a race, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was going to say Alton Park. I think you did the grand title about 1 lap or something.
Yeah, Alton Park was horrendous, to be honest with you. I remember I watched the footage afterwards, and you did mention coming in under a cloud of smoke. We took the engine apart at home, and it dropped 3 liners on the back bank. So obviously, but when we started it up at home, when it was cold, it's fine.
Yeah. Typical, isn't it?
Yeah,
typical.
Yeah, always the way. But yeah, we whipped it out and put this one in. So.
Well. Let's get to the finish, eh, boys? Let's just get to the finish.
Tell you what, that's my aim. I don't care where I finish, I just want to finish.
Done. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Right, it is time for us to get back, because we've got to start setting up ready for race 1. Gets underway at 2:05. It's going to be a cracker, isn't it? Just one final time. Let's just bring those qualifying results back up onto the screen for you, so you can just have a little reminder. Of course, Mike Williams, your man on the pole position, he's going to be going toe-to-toe with Morgan Short. Morgan thinks there's more pace in his car. Does Mike have more pace in his car? It's going to be absolutely thrilling. We know those two are going to be locked together. And then we've got the Rover Tomcats as well. There's going to be plenty of stories as we go through the classes as well. Just drop that image down. Charles, thanks for joining me on this little walk. I hope you enjoyed it. It's just something we like to do. We just like to sort of let people see what really happens behind the scenes at a club racing event.
Make sure you tune in for the races later on this afternoon.
Yes, certainly do. So the temperature is soaring here at Silverstone. It's time for us to head off. When you come back, we'll be live for race 1 of the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. See you soon. Right, hello everybody, welcome back once again to a beautiful sunny Silverstone. A little bit of wind actually picking up, blowing right behind us, but we have another treat for you here. It's time for the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup, very first race of the day. Well, qualifying took place this morning. Let's just pop up onto the screen the qualifying results from earlier today, and as we can see, Mike Williams and Morgan Short are going to go toe-to-toe. It was Mike Williams who just pipped Short to that all-important pole position. Actually, we talk about it being all-important, Charles. It's not as important here at Silverstone, is it? They literally start side by side. Mike was probably going to get the jump anyway on Morgan in that nippy Metro, so perhaps pole isn't as important here as, say, other places?
No, I mean, Silverstone's obviously a great place for overtaking. You've got long straights, you've got some hard braking zones, a lot of fast corners and things as well. The track's wide enough that you could almost run 3, well, we've seen 3 abreast today already. I mean, in something small, I wouldn't be surprised if you've seen 4 coming down the Hanger Straight even. So, yeah, it's not the most important thing in the world. And like you said, yeah, most likely the lighter, smaller car will get off the line a little bit quicker. There's just less mass to get off the line. It's quite, you know, it's that simple. So
absolutely.
That race to turn 1 isn't the most important thing in the world, but it does help.
Certainly. We've got Morgan Short and Mike Williams. I'm surprised they're talking to each other because they're going to be about to do battle on track, aren't you? I might just overdressing this up a little bit, but qualifying was pretty tight, wasn't it?
It was quite tight, wasn't it? 0.070, I think.
Oh, my word, yeah.
Yeah. But we were both getting faster, I think, as we went, getting used to the circuit. Yeah. But the cars were getting slower as the tyres were falling apart.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the race is going to be like. Probably be the
the man who keeps his tyres.
The man who keeps his tyres. Okay, good advice there, good advice. Cheers, mate. Now, Morgan, of course, we did actually catch up with you, didn't we, in the paddock as well? Pulled off in qualifying, overheating the issue. Is it going to be all right for the distance?
Fingers crossed. We're still not too sure what exactly happened, but we've tried to increase the cooling as much as possible. The air's only going through the radiator now, and changed a few caps and just, we've tried everything we can, and hopefully it'll be all right. I'll keep an eye on the temperature, and then who knows, we'll find out at the end of the race.
It's getting hotter in it, the air temperature, it's baking. Best of luck, guys, thank you very much. Let's just move down a little bit. I did want to see if we grab a catch up with some of the guys a bit further down there. There's my old mate, the old mucker, and he's trying to avoid me, isn't he? How's it going, boys? How you doing? You all right? You good?
Not bad, you?
Yeah, good, mate. We're covered for Friday, have we?
Yeah.
Good, man.
I'm drinking a lot of water.
How are you feeling after qualifying? Are you happy with that?
It was okay. I couldn't get much grip in the slow corners.
Yeah.
So I've made some adjustments. Hopefully get a bit better grip now. It's just hot. It's just hot and sweaty.
Yeah. Plenty of straight line speed though in your car, isn't there?
Yeah. To be honest, we've been around here for quite a while. It does take a bit of sort of getting used to the circuit again and stuff. So, yeah.
It's a long old lap though, isn't it? You got plenty of time to think about it.
Yeah. Just going straight. Brilliant.
Put the radio on. Listen to the commentary live, why not?
Turn the aircon in the car.
Tom, I'll let you crack on. Cheers, Matthew. Let's go down there, because Charles, you told me something interesting a bit earlier. We think it's Rod Weston Bartholomew's last race.
What I was told, yeah. I guess we can try and get a chat with the man, and he can tell us for himself.
Let's see if we can grab him here. He's got his back to me. I'm just going to sneak up on you. Rod, how's it going? You all right?
Yeah.
Now, am I right thinking this is your last race weekend? Have I heard correctly?
That's him.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. It's your last race weekend.
Oh, yes,
your last race weekend. Oh, fantastic.
27 years racing. First race here in 1994.
Yeah.
And my last race shall be here too.
Oh, wow. So this afternoon, last one, we must come and find you and have a chat with you. Are you looking forward to
this car? Because my Rover BRM's not fit, unfortunately. It broke down at
That's my confusion then. There we go, yeah.
But Rod's let me use this car for race 2.
Fantastic.
So, back of the grid, but never mind, because I had to qualify out of session. But it's all about the emotions today.
Oh, that's what I like to. But that's good, though. What a lovely place to finish up as well, eh?
Got my uncle and aunt here. My uncle was here in 94, my first race here as well, so he's come to see me on the last one. That's quite nice.
Fantastic. Enjoy it, won't you? Make the most of it. Thank you very much. Cheers, Rob. Thank you. Yeah, lovely stories, isn't it? Here's Maddie Maguire as well. Come all the way down from Scotland as well, hasn't she? Blazing the Scottish flag on the side. Maddie, how are you doing? It's great to see you again. Are you ready for this one?
Absolutely, definitely.
You got the shades on, you're looking cool.
Qualifying was doing some mechanical issues, so it's a bit intermittent at the moment, but we'll go out there and just give it everything we got.
Do you race in those shades?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You're the coolest driver here, by the way, I have to say. Definitely.
You know what? Like on BTCC, Rob Austin, like Rob Austin looking at me. Yeah, we're going for it. We're keeping the shades.
So I like it. Enjoy the race. Cheers, Maddie. Oh, and here we go, and the 1 minute ball goes up, so it looks like it is time. Finally, we're going to get underway for the vehicle, the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. We hope you've enjoyed whilst we have been filling. Anyway, out goes Mike Williams, the man's going to start in a pole position. There is Morgan Short. This waiting won't have done his overheating issues any good at all. Out goes Matthew Simpson there. There's Peter Birchall, Dan Jones, the man on pole position in Class B. Dan giving us the thumbs up, and you couldn't make it up because you've been told to wait again. Something's going on here. We've just safety car's just stopped. I'm not sure why. Is there? It's not a service vehicle coming down, and off they go. A bit of a strange happening there. Has that ever happened to you, Charles?
No, I don't recall trying to follow a safety car that then just stops on its way out. Whether the man in the safety car got some new information from race control, or whether for some reason he just hit the wrong button.
Alright, I'm seeing both Tomcats. I'm seeing all four of the Tomcats, so it's not those. It's not one of the minis, is it? I hope not. Well, I hope it's...
By the looks of it, Ian, I think it could be one of the minis.
Yeah, I think unfortunately you may be right there.
There's a driver with his door open on the third row, Ian.
That's Peter Birchall. I think he's just trying to cool down, I think that's all. Richard Buckley's now doing the same. So Mike Williams on pole, Morgan Short in second, Richard Buckley in third. Okay, lovely, thank you. We're going on another green flag lap, what we're hearing. So the cars are going to circulate one more time. So I'm just trying to look. So we've got Sir Richard Buckley, we've got Matthew Simpson, we've got Peter Birchall, we've got Dan Jones, we've got Kaylee Twigger, we've got Dave Harrison, we have Steve Tyler, we've got Ian Bolton, we've got Rod. We do have Rod Weston Bartholomew. We've got Craig Baston, 32 Steve Hiley. We've got Mandy Maguire, we've got John Gill, and we have Chris Whitewick. So yeah, it is unfortunate. I think we have one of the Libra Invitation in the Mini 7 Racing Club cars. I'm not too sure who it is. As soon as we get more information, we'll let you know. But it looks like, unfortunately, we've lost one of the Minis already. Okay, here we go. Red lights are on and off we go. And it's a very good start by Morgan. That's been like into the lead early on in this race. We're just waiting for the minis to go. They've just been held back. I think it's about 10 seconds because of the heat. Everybody's round the first corner safely. And here we go. We're getting ready for the Libra Invitation for the Mini 7 Racing Club. Here we go. And it's lights out. The Union Jack has fallen. Off we go. And it's a great start. It's a good start by Dan Lewis as well. He's got Frank alongside him. Frank and Lewis toe-to-toe into the first corner, and I think Lewis takes the lead of the race round the first corner there. Wow, incredible stuff. It looked like Morgan Hay had that initial power off the line, didn't he? And then as soon as he changed gear though, Mike just whipped straight back through again, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Morgan definitely had a good start, and I think he pretty much got what he wanted out of that start, in the sense of he didn't allow Mike to come over on him or cover him off. They were mostly side by side, I think, pretty much all the way to turn one. But just getting that heavier car off the line, I think, was pretty impressive there by Morgan. Mike did well. I think his initial getaway wasn't brilliant, but then, like you said, as soon as they got into second, he was away.
Yeah, away he certainly was, wasn't he? And let me just bring up TSL. It's going to be an interesting race, isn't it? It's going to be a dice between the two. Mike Williams and Morgan Short, and it's going to be a dice between Lewis and Franks, I think, in the Libra Invitation in the Mini 7 Racing Club as well. Don't go anywhere. Pop this down. So we're just waiting for the action. That's a long lap, actually, the first time round, isn't it, Charles? It's the Grand Prix circuit. Here we are in the national pits, though.
Yeah, we were seeing, what, 2 minute 35 was roughly the pole time, so you can probably assume a good, what, 2 minute 40, 2 minute 45, something like that for the first time round.
I think so. I think a few drivers might be a bit tentative as well after having to wait a long time. They've been out actually of the paddock for a long time now, including waiting in assembly area, and there's no shade in assembly area either. So the sun really is being beating down quite heavy.
Yeah, and this heat can take its toll on a driver. You're wearing best part of 3 layers of Nomex fireproof overalls and underwear and everything else, and they are just starting to come around the final corner now.
Oh, and I think Morgan Short has lost a bit of time here. I think Morgan Short has lost some time. I think we're going to see Mike Williams coming around. There he is. Mike Williams, your race leader. What's happened to Morgan Short? Because Richard Buckley's in second place. Simpson is in third. And there is Morgan Short in fourth place. Big driver on the opening lap. He overcomes Peter Birchall here. Peter Birchall over the line in fifth place. There's Dan Jones. Class B going very, very well indeed. There's Dave Harrison. And Baston going very well as well. We've got a couple of Class A cars. There's Kaylee Twigger. Look, there is Dan Lewis. Mini Libra absolutely mixing it as well. So's Franks as well. That could have a big impact on the race. Here comes the rest of the Libra invitations in the Mini 7 Racing Club. Great stuff as they're going round the first corner here at Silverstone.
Yeah, a little lock up from one of the Minis there going into the first corner, but as predicted, even with that 10-second head start, the Minis are already catching the MGs. So I think that they will probably overtake all of them by the time we get to the end of this race. I think, and I might be wrong, I think Morgan might have had some contact on that first lap because his bonnet does not seem to be as attached as it was when he set off from the grid.
Okay,
it seemed like it was
the back
loose.
of Mike Williams' car and see if there's any damage there. And just to clarify, I think it was Cox, 2:32 in the Libra Invitation. Cox, unfortunately, couldn't take the start of this race. That's a shame because Cox has been strong all weekend with the Mini 7 Racing Club. What a start. What do you think of that? Comment below. Tell us, what did you make of that start? Are you happy with the driver you're supporting? Do you think they had a good go off the line there? I'll get my words out. I just get so overexcited, Charles. How can you not? I mean, we've got this wonderful view up here again. Those of you just tuning in, welcome. We've got 2 races essentially going on. Well, actually, if you include all the classes, we've actually got 4 races going on.
Yeah, exactly. 4 races, all at the same time. No one knows where to be looking. But yeah, I think keep your eye out for Morgan's bonnet this time round because it did not seem to be battened down. So if that thing's coming loose, he may even have to prematurely end his race because you don't want that coming up as you're coming down Hanger Straight at 100 and something odd mile an hour.
Well, it might be safer to get in the pits, mightn't it, and just get it down. Okay, it'll end his it'll end his chance of winning, but he could get out and track and maybe
score
there
some
is another
points.
Race today, don't forget, for the Cherished Insurance MG Cup. So the last thing you want to do is ruin your race weekend right now in race 1, is it? So
yeah,
who knows? Let's find out what is going to happen. They're about to appear back in our screen. There is Mike Williams, your race leader. He's got it at a bit of a canter at the minute, hasn't he? We don't have the big battle that we were kind of hoping for, and Morgan Shaw has disappeared from Harvey completely. And he's in the pits. Morgan Shaw into the pits. There he goes. You're absolutely right. That promotes Peter Birchall up to a 4th place. Dan Jones running very well in Class B as well, but look, here comes Lewis as well in that Mini Libra. Absolutely flying, isn't he? There's Dave Harrison, there goes Frank in the Libra. Plenty of action going on in the midfield, isn't there? The Minis have caught up to the Class B and C cars already of the MG Cup is what I'm trying to say. There is Morgan Shaw.
Yeah, as much as I like being right here, and that's a real shame for Morgan.
Charles, I'm wondering, would you fancy running down so you can grab a word with Morgan?
I definitely will, and
good luck.
yeah, it's a real shame. We were looking forward to a real great scrap between those two.
So the bonnet is up. I wonder if it's overheating. I wonder what it is. There's clearly a big issue. I think I can see whispers of smoke coming up as well. And what a shame that is for Morgan Shaw. Let's hope he can get everything sorted for race 2.
Okay. No worries. By the looks of it, it seems to be an overheating problem, Ian.
Very equally matched.
He looks absolutely devastated, doesn't he, Morgan? Look at that. There's smoke wisping its way up from the engine there. A few people here. Danny Bowman, so watching from the left field grandstand. Hi, Danny. So is Tracy. Hello, Tracy. Lisa Twigger watching from Nottingham, of course, supporting Kaylee. Big hello to all of the Twigger family. Here comes Mike Williams back over the line, and he's got a big lead, hasn't he? In the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup in the C class. Richard Buckley, though, and Matthew Simpson going toe to toe. That's going to be a dicey battle throughout this race. And Peter Birchall up to 4th place. Dan Lewis in the Mini Libra. You might not be able to see on camera, see quite a lot of blue smoke coming out the back of Lewis's Mini there. So everything's okay. Frank's coming down, trying to take advantage. Here goes Harvey as well in 3rd place in the Libra Invitational class, just making a move on Dan Jones in the MG Cup.
Temperatures, we had obviously an issue in quali. They got too hot and the engine started to go. We don't even know what particularly caused it. There was a slight leak in the coolant cap. We've got a new cap on it. We've tried to improve the cooling. We've put loads of vents and everything to try and put all the point towards the radiator, but to no avail. The temperature's just gone through the roof. I just thought there's no point carrying on because this is what happened last time. So, you know, it was a good race. Well, it wasn't a good race because at the start, Richard Buckley dived up my inside. I had nowhere to go. I got Williams on my outside, going through cops. He spun me around. I was 90 degrees through cops. Somehow I saved it and kept going behind those two, catching them in the corners, and then those turbos kick in and they're gone down the straights. And then obviously I see Mike going up in the distance, and then I'm looking at my temperature, it's going up. I'm like, okay, please stay at 3/4, stay at 3/4, and then it goes up and up and up. And then I come round, I'm behind Matt and Richard, and I'm like, I'm getting fed up, and I look down and I see the temperature's just gone through the roof. So come in before anything went off, but you know.
Heartbreaking. So other than the contact of turn 1, was there any contact with the front of the car? Because when you came across the line, the bonnet seemed to be part open.
They said that I think it may be something to do with the bumper being damaged from Alton Park, or the bonnet should be fine, unless, you know, maybe I don't know, it should be fine. It was all clipped down. There was no contact at the front. It was just that contact from the rear. From he properly clouted me. Obviously, it doesn't look like any damage, but yeah, that's it. Not much, but
enough when you're at those speeds to just not.
Yeah, it's completely sideways. I don't know how I saved it. I thought that was over, so I was relatively happy to be back behind them. Was side by side with Matt a couple of times, but as soon as he gets the power down, he can just go off on his own down the straight. Him and Richard were battling. I'd be right on them for the straights, get right back on them in the corners, but you know, I wasn't going to pass them without any, you know, if they took each other out or one of them had an incident. So it was frustrating from the very beginning and very, very frustrating end, and it looks like we probably won't be racing this afternoon, which is probably goodbye to the championship, which is...
That's a real shame. I'm sorry about that, mate. So, I've been in a similar situation myself, and it's never a fun time. So I completely thank you for giving me the interview. Because you probably don't.
A moment ago, yeah, it wouldn't have been a good time, but you know.
That's fine. I completely understand. Trust me. Yeah, well, hopefully the race this afternoon.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think the radio's crap.
Okay.
It's not the one we used at Alton, that's not big dents in it, so you know, that lasted 2 laps at Alton to take the win, but I don't think this.
Right, I don't think it's any. That is not where we want to see, but if you get the car out for race 2, still plenty of time to go. I can tell you actually, it's Dan Lewis, the fastest man out on the track in the Mini Libras, the overall fastest man, a 2:37.448. Mike Williams in the Metro, fastest lap of a 2:37.514. It's Buckley in second, Simpson in third. Lewis is fourth on track, but of course he's first in the Mini 7 Racing Club Libra Invitation. Peter Birchall in fifth, but fourth, of course, of all the MG Cup. I'm just going to run through in total order for you. Remember, we're mixing the MG Cup and the Libra Invitation. So we've got Williams, Buckley, Simpson, Lewis, Birchall, Frank, Deff, Jones, Turner, Dickinson, Harrison, Stanton, Twigger, Baston, Tyler, Weston, Bartholomew, Bolton, Gill, Maguire, Hiley, Whitewick, Short, of course, as we can see, out of the race, as is Cox, 2:32 in the Libra Invitation. Didn't take the start, unfortunately. Charles Boniface is back with me. Charles, thank you for running down. I didn't actually hear what was said. What was just overheating, or was the contact?
Heartbreaking there from Morgan. A bit of both, unfortunately. So he got a decent start alongside Mike, and he was then hit coming through turn 1 and in the rear quarter panel, which put him 90 degrees sideways. That was enough to make him lose ground going next to the turbos, and they just started to pull away from him on the straights. Then, by the time he got back going again, the temperature gauge just kept going up and up and up, and yeah, overheating, and that's why he's brought it in. Unfortunately, just the overheating problem that they thought had been solved hasn't been.
Yeah.
That potentially puts the end of it. They're a little bit doubtful on whether they'll make it out this afternoon. Fingers crossed that they do. Yeah, absolutely heartbreaking there from Morgan. So, yeah, hopefully I'll get back out this afternoon. But
let's hope so. Real shame there, but it is plenty of on-track action. Dan Lewis, your leader in the Libra Invitation. We just saw Franks coming over the line in second place as well. It looks like plenty still to go at the minute. So we've still got 6 minutes of this race left to go. It's action-packed. It's intense. The track is absolutely baking hot. The drivers will be sweating like you wouldn't believe in there. But they're on track. Here comes Dave Harrison with Katie Twigger right behind him as well. Those two have been having a season-long battle, and that's what we like to see. There goes 1-3-3. That's Stanton just over the start-finish line in the Libra Invitation, going around the first corner. And a bit of movement here. We've got Cherished in Class A. We've got Basted there as well, having a good old tussle into turn 1. In the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. 3 classes, of course, A, B and C. C class, the fastest cars for the MG Cup, and we're delighted to say we're joined by the Libra Invitation for the Mini 7 Racing Club as well. Dan Lewis is in the lead at the minute, but Franks is keeping him honest. It's not a done deal yet, still with 5 minutes to go. It's what we love about motorsport. Absolutely anything can happen. We saw a dramatic start, didn't we? It just hasn't gone Morgan Short's way so far. There goes Stephen Hiley over the line. Car number 32, also in Class A in the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. On the Grand Prix circuit. So once they start to space out, Charles, there's quite a bit of action normally happens, doesn't it? As I say that, the track's completely empty right in front of us. Couldn't make it up, could you?
No, it's just perfect timing, sod's law right there. Yeah, there's usually a fair bit of action. Usually around here you get a fair bit of grouping as well, especially with the slipstreaming and that down the straights. It becomes quite a powerful tool. So normally you see groups of anywhere between 3 and 8 cars. I've seen maybe even more than that. One just long train of people.
One thing I'm impressed with is Mike Williams, your MG Cup outright racing leader, comes into a shot. Is the speed of these minis as well. Lewis and Franks, first and second place in the Libras. They're actually running 4th and 5th overall on track. There was a good 11 to 15 second gap between them and the MG Cup going out, and they've caught them up. But the second corner, Lewis has posted the fastest lap of the race overall, 2:37.448. So the Mini Libra is absolutely flying around here. And here they come into your screen. I don't believe this. It's for the race lead as well, I believe. What has happened? That's Lewis and Franks takes the lead in the race. Has Lewis got a problem?
I see some puffs of blue smoke coming out the back of that orange Mini.
Lewis has had that for a while, so is that now starting to come and cause a few issues? That looked like Franks took the lead of the race in the Mini Libra Invitational. Wow! Big drama here. You just can't take your eyes off it. You never know what's going to happen.
I'm quite impressed actually the times between how close the Minis and the MGs actually are. As I said when we were walking up and down in the paddock area earlier, I generally I thought the Minis may be potentially the faster car, but no, we're pretty close on times, and that's quite impressive.
Yeah, it is. It's great stuff, isn't it? David Franks, the man on the move in the Mini 7 Racing Club Libra Invitation. Really gunning for this one, isn't he? Wow. We're going to have big drama. 2.5 minutes of this race left to go. We're here over the start-finish line. You'll see it as the checkered flag falls. There is Maddie Maguire coming into our shot now, car number 23 in the B class in the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. We had a chat with her, didn't we? Blue wheels, a little bit of pink trim, gold and black. That's some livery, isn't it?
Oh yeah, she's definitely, picking some good colours for that car. But
and it's nice
I think
when people
she's
do that
driving it
because
quite well as well.
It helps us as commentators, doesn't it, when they do that?
It definitely does. Where is she in the standings at the moment in class?
She's 19th in total. In class is a great question. 19th, that includes the Libras as well. We have a total of 22 cars out on the track, a mix of the MG Cup and the Libra Invitation cars. Mike Williams, he's got a 14-second lead in this race. He'll be on his penultimate lap.
I think it's only Maddie's second race in this series, so still getting to grips with it and seems to be doing quite well, to be fair to her.
So here comes Mike Williams coming over the line to start his final lap of the race, and unfortunately with the Morgan Short retirement, he's kind of had it all his own way, hasn't he? It must be quite lonely for him out there. He certainly wasn't lonely at Alton Park. They had some big battles. Richard Buckley and Matthew Simpson hit second and third respectively, coming over the line. On to their final laps. Will Simpson make a last gas move, maybe, on Buckley?
Oh, he's definitely keeping him honest for the moment.
And here they come. Here's the Libra Invitation. David Franks has the lead in the race. Lewis in second place. Is it going to stay that way? It's the final lap of the race here. Harvey in third place in the Libra Invitation. Peter Birchall coming over the line in the MG Cup Class C. He's running in fourth place. Here comes Death and Turner. 2, 8, 3, 1, 2, 3 in the Libra Invitation. They're fourth and fifth respectively.
It's definitely going to be an interesting fast lap for the minis.
Oh, isn't it just? And Dave Harrison, look, having a good go. He's got speed, get past that and go. I must hasten to add, they are in different classes, but it is still part of the MG Cup, so it'll be quite satisfying for the Tomcats to get past Dan Jones. But Dan Jones is likely, very likely, that he is going to pick up another Class B win in the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. And here's a bit of drama as well.
Are we going to go three abreast into turn one?
That's Whitewick just getting out of the way, I think. Baston getting the move on Tyler. Again, Baston in Class C, though. Tyler going to pick up the Class A honours.
He's gone down the inside, but he's hanging it round the outside. I can't quite see who's got in front. We'll find out when they come round.
We certainly will. And the clock has run down, so the checkered flag will appear next time we see Mike Williams. It's been probably the most comfortable of comfortable victories you can have, hasn't it, really, Charles? It's been a bit of a standard run to the flag for him, really. Unfortunately, losing Morgan Short so early on in the race.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not been all plain sailing inside that car. I doubt he's not pushing in there, but I think he's probably just kept himself at a nice, comfortable pace to keep the car in one piece after he built the gap, and yeah, just having fun in there himself and not having to worry too much about anything else.
That's it, just take it home, and he's certainly doing that, isn't he? It's still Lewis, though, who's second in Libra Invitation, has the fastest lap with total 2:37.448. How is that going to finish? There is Mike Williams, and he takes the checkered flag and wins once again. The arms out the window. Mike Williams picks up the Class C honours in the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. Now, I want to know, who is it going to be? Buckley or Simpson for second place in the MG Cup? And what about the minis? And it's Simpson!
It is Simpson.
It is Simpson. Simpson's got past. And Simpson takes second place. Buckley comes home in third. And it is David Franks who wins in the Libra Invitation. What's happened to Dan Lewis? What has happened to Lewis?
We did keep saying we kept seeing some blue smoke.
We did keep seeing blue smoke. Has there been huge drama with the Libras?
Is that him coming now?
Is that Harvey? That's Harvey, isn't it? So Harvey comes home in second place. Peter Birchall comes home in fourth in the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. And it looks like it is going to be Def who comes home in third place. We've lost Lewis, unfortunately. Something's happened to Lewis at the end of this race. What a shame that is.
In the pit lane.
Oh, and there is Dan Lewis, so you can just see him coming into the pit lane just as Dave Harrison comes over the start-finish line. He did get past Dan Jones in the MG Cup. Katie Twiggy coming over the line as well. Oh, huge drama right at the end of this race, and that's what we like to see, isn't it? This is motorsport, this is exciting, you can't take your eyes off it, it's never over until it's over. And that's the beauty of not just motorsport, but all sport, isn't it? Here comes Baston over the line, did get past Tyler in the end. Of course, just to remember, Baston Class C though, of course. And looks like Steve Tyler's going to pick up the Class A honours in the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. And there's Rob Weston Bartholomew coming over the line. And there's Ian Bolton as well.
If I had to put any money on it, Ian, I reckon Simpson probably got Buckley along the hanger straight and into Stone.
Exciting stuff, wasn't it? Let's go see if we can get a word with them. We're going to head down now to Parc Fermé because they're going to be coming pretty quick. Dave, that was an exciting race, wasn't it? You having a bit of a battle with a few people out there as well?
Yeah, it was good. I didn't get a chance to read the book, but it was good.
It certainly was. I could feel the heat coming out of it. That fire extinguisher is going to explode if it gets any higher.
It's crazy, you know. I was hoping that was the last lap the one before, because I don't know how much I can hold on, you know.
Oh, bless you, mate.
Well, yeah, great race.
It was great, fantastic, well done, well done. Let's go grab a quick word with Mr. Gillen here as well. How was that out there? Do you enjoy that?
I've survived this time.
Is that what it is?
Last time I spoke to you, I was in trouble.
Is it a bit of survival of the fittest out there, is it?
Yes. Not too bad after Upton Park, so.
Yes. No, of course, look, you've got it high. You've got to do it all again a little bit later as well. Top man, thank you. Let's grab a quick word with White Oak as well here. How was that? Did you enjoy that?
That was a lot of fun. The driver's a lot slower than the car is, but it was hot and sunny and exciting, especially when the minis are trying to get past you.
Yeah, they're like little buzzing bees, aren't they? They're the wasps, they're so quick.
You can't see them coming, and as soon as they get upon you, they're off. So it's, yeah, all in all, good fun. I'm
really pleased you're here because I've always had a bit of a thing for these cars. What's it like to drive around Silverstone?
Understeering like mad. The brakes start working eventually. But when it all comes together, I'm sure somebody that can actually drive would have a very good time in this car.
I think you're selling yourself short.
No, it's good fun. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Lovely. Thank you, well done. Congratulations. Right, we are going to head off for a break. Hello, everybody. Welcome down to the assembly area. It's almost time for race 2 of the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. Unfortunately, Morgan Short is not going to be taking part in this race. We saw the heating issues he had in race 1. He's out. It does put, obviously, Mike Williams in a great position to get this race done. Now, you were just chatting to Mike Williams, weren't you? What did he have to say, Charles?
So, well, what he said was the reason he was driving so far away from everyone in the first race was because I said that a Mini might beat him overall. And it spurred him on to make sure that he won outright, completely. And he checked the time, and it was more than, I think it was 17 seconds in the end, so he would have beaten everyone.
So he would have just beaten anyway. Fantastic.
But yeah, no, he said that, yeah, first race was good, car was good, he was pushing, enjoying himself. And yeah, he's just looking forward to getting into the next one. And
fantastic. Yeah. Now, you got Matt Simpson there, Richard Buckley as well. They're having a great tussle, weren't they, for second place. I had a quick chat with them as well, just as Matt was trying to get to the Portaloo, actually. Believe it or not, they were just saying how hot it is in those cars. I know we've gone on about the weather a lot, but it was hot. Didn't stop them having a great tussle, and it was Simpson who got the better in the end. The race ahead has just finished, actually. We're going to start walking back to the start-finish line and get up to the gantry so we can bring you all of this sensational Race 2 live of the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. This is going to be exciting. Ian Bolton, there's red lights and off they go. And it looks like it's going to be Ken Buckley maybe snatched the lead in the very first corner. Going to be close.
I think Mike's gone round the outside of him.
And we do think Mike Williams has gone round the outside and has the lead of the race. Wow, exciting stuff. The power. We're literally right down here by the start-finish line, aren't we? And the power that Buckley had in that Turbo Tomcat. He fired away, didn't he? I thought he might get the job done almost. Perhaps he could be competing with Williams for this race, but it's going to be super, super exciting. I can't wait to see as they come around. Lots of action, of course. We've got Class C, Class B, and Class A. Class C, Mike Williams, your race winner in race 1. We had Dan Jones, your winner in Class B, and Steve Tyler, your Class A winner, is what I'm trying to say. Right, let's get ourselves up high and watch this action as it happens. I mean, Buckley's going to have to get in front of Williams' early doors, isn't he, if he's got any chance?
Well, exactly. He needs to hold him up through the corners, at least until he can get to the hanger straight and start to think about pulling away. All the time he can do that, he should be in good stead.
I just can't get enough of this view. It's absolutely incredible up here.
Fantastic
I mean, could you imagine being up
launch.
here when the Formula One was coming by? My word.
That would be incredible. Oh, to be fair, if the F1 came past here, the whole thing would shake.
So who's it going to be? Is it going to be Buckley? Is it going to be Williams? Is it going to be somebody else? We're going to find out very shortly. I can hear him buzzing around the circuit at the minute. It's a long lap here. We're on the Grand Prix circuit, of course, but we are in the national pits. We are using the national pit straight here. They'll obviously fly past the wing. But it's nice down here. A lot of history in this pit lane and this start-finish line that you're looking at right now.
All the way back to the first race in, well, Grand Prix race was back in 1949. They had a pre-seat, they had a race a year before the Formula One Championship officially started in 1950.
Right, I can see that they're just going around the final corners now. And it is Williams, I think, but I can tell you something, they are nose to tail right now. Williams has not been allowed to get behind. Simpson is all over the back of Buckley as well. They're going to come down the start-finish line any second. They're about to appear in your screen. It is going to be Williams in the lead, but it's Buckley and Simpson going toe-to-toe. Look at this! And Buckley pulls out the outside. He's only going to get the job done. He's on the inside, and Buckley takes the lead in the race. What can Simpson do? Can he harry him? This can work very well in Buckley's favour. Simpson puts a bit of pressure on behind. Birchall going through, Harrison going through, Twinger going through. We've got Tyler going through, Matty Maguire's going through. My word, I wasn't expecting that, I've got to be honest, Charles. I don't know about you, but wow, how exciting was that one?
Not at all. So much for a boring, easy race, eh? Mike's definitely got a fight on his hands.
He's under the cosh now, isn't he? He really is. Wow.
The best
got
thing
Wayne
is
Sterling Parker going through. Of course, it is Wayne's final ever race here today. 27 years ago, he started at Silverstone, and he's ending his career here today. 27 years later at Silverstone as well. And of course, 27 years ago, he would have used this pit garage as well, wouldn't he?
He sure would have done. The best thing about this lead, the battle for the lead, is the fact that Simpson is right up there. So I reckon, come hang us straight, what we will probably see is Butcher, Simpson, and then Mike in third. Mike needs to get past them in a part of the track that there isn't a straight for a fair few corners, just to build that gap to stop them from getting past.
Well, this could work very well in Buckley's favour, couldn't it? If Simpson puts pressure on Williams. It's obviously going to slow Williams down. He's not going to be able to put the pressure on Buckley that he wants to put on. So, wow, what a wonderful, wonderful start. If anything, this has just lit up. The Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup has absolutely lit up here at Silverstone. Do not go anywhere. Do not take your eyes off this. We have a battle right at the sharp end of the grid. Class C is on fire right now. Do not go anywhere. Stick with this. Buckley, Williams, Simpson, Birchall, Harrison, Twigger, Tyler, Maguire, Sterling, Parker, Bolton, Gill, Hiley, Baston, Whitewick. That is the order of your 14 runners.
And it's all thanks to that brilliant start by Butcher.
Do you know what? I've been talking about Dan Jones, haven't I? And I can't see him on the list. Is he not here? So I will have to check the Class B runners and riders. So no, they're going back round again. I've just got a glimpse of the final corner up here, and it is still Buckley in the lead. Williams all over the back of him. No, literally, there's nothing to choose between them. Simpson right in the mix as well. This is going to go all the way to the wire. Here they come. Your top three of Buckley, Williams and Simpson, and there they are. There's still Richard Buckley, your race leader. He's got Mike Williams buzzing all around him. Simpson is just trying to click on with their life. Peter Birchall about to come into your as well. Then we've got a good battle with Dave Harrison and Dave Twigger having a good go as well. And then we've got to Class A, Steve Tyler. Won the race earlier. Here comes Steve Tyler now. Wayne Sterling Parker behind. Maggie Maguire Class A. And there they all go through. Gill in that, Ian Bolton in that as well. And Gill trying to get past Bolton around the start-finish line. There goes Hiley as well. Car number 32 in Class A. And here comes Baston. It's just not quite clicking for them, is it? I believe is it Nigel in the car now? Craig was in earlier, wasn't he? There's a Union Jack here, look.
Yeah, I believe that would be Nigel in the car now if Craig was in earlier, as they're sharing the seat.
Yes, and that's one of the beauties of this, isn't it? They can obviously share the seat. I'm just trying to see what has happened to Dan Chuckins. Has he gone out in Class B? So I think then it's Wayne Sterling Parker in Class 333 and Maddie Maguire in Class B going toe-to-toe then for Class B on it. So it's going to be Wayne Sterling Parker in his last ever race could take class honours, or Maddie Maguire in only a third ever race with the MG Cup, or fourth race with the MG Cup rather, could take Class B honours as well. So wow, that's certainly worth keeping an eye on. Class B has just set fire. Class C is on fire. Steve Tyler is kind of getting away with Class A at the minute, but there's still a lot to go on. And Parker got past Maguire in that last lap. So Wayne Sterling Parker up to 8th place and first in Class B in his final ever race. Not just final race, final ever race. I just realised what I said there. Not his final race, his final ever race. Same thing, isn't it?
Not
just
really.
Kind of realised what I said there. Final, not just his final MG Cup race, but his final race. I mean, who knows? He might do something else, but there you go.
Time will tell.
Final MG Cup race, let's just say that. Right, I can see them coming back round again. They're about to be in a shot. Richard Buckley still has the lead. Mike Williams is in second. Simpson has closed the gap a little bit in third. He's got that turbo Tomcat. Can Simpson do the job? He got past Buckley in race 1. Is he going to come alive in the second half of the race? There is Buckley. A little bit of a gap perhaps. There is Simpson as well. It's a wonderful fight for the top 3. And Simpson really does get close, doesn't he, on these straights. Peter Birchall having a bit of a lonely time of it. Once again, here comes Dave Harrison, keeping him on it. And Kaylee Twigger coming through as well. Car number 15 with that wonderful Dad 1 number plate. Now it should be Tyler, Class A, coming through any second now. It just shows the gap, doesn't it, between the C cars and the A cars. And I think is that Sterling Parker actually who's got past Tyler. Wyatt as well, also in Class B. So plenty of going on as well. And Manny Maguire trying to take Tyler, because Tyler's Class A should be slightly slower than the Class B cars. And there goes Hiley coming through. We've still got Baston, who's Class C, but we know they've got numerous problems with that car. They were working on it a lot this morning, weren't they? Here they come. Here comes Nigel Baston over the start-finish line now. It's a fine-looking car, though. I can tell you they've done a cracking job of that livery, by the way.
They definitely have. See, Michael Williams is in a bit of a no man's land at the moment, because I don't think he wants to get too close to the car in front, because otherwise he got issues with overheating and things. And also, if he's too close to the car in front, he can't carry the speed that he can normally carry through the corners, which is where he makes it up his big advantage. The problem is, if he comes too far away and tries to get somewhere, for a good run, he won't get that because he won't have the toe. And on top of that, he's also got Simpson behind him to think about, who's, if he doesn't get enough of a toe down the straight, will be right past him.
There's a Whitewick coming over like that. You're absolutely spot on there. In fact, if anything, is perhaps Mike Williams going to hold on a little bit. There's still 10 minutes of this race to go, so there's still a long way to go. Perhaps in 2 laps or so, he might start thinking about trying to make a few moves. Just let the car settle a little bit. A bit like Formula 1 managing the tyres a bit, isn't it? He who can go longest often usually finishes higher up the order.
Yeah, it's it could come down to something as simple as that. Give those turbo cars a little bit of issue with heat or something. I mean,
I'd say that. Mike Williams is all over the back of him though, so I don't think anybody's really letting up here. I think this is just full-blown heavy metal racing right now. I don't think there's any resting here. I don't think there's any strategy or tactics. I think it's just, I want to get past you in front, because there they come. Buckley, Williams and Simpson. This is a wonderful battle. This is a wonderful tussle for the lead, and the outright lead of this race. This is wonderful, wonderful stuff. We should have Peter Birchall coming through, as we said before. But look at this, Dave Harrison. I'm sure Dave Harrison was closing the gap to Peter Birchall quite a bit. Kaylee Twigger in the mix as well with this second trio, shall we say. So it's stories all over, isn't it? So we know Sterling Parker got past Tyler in the last lap. Looking good for the Class B run. And it's all changed again. I think Tyler's got back past Sterling Parker and Maddie Maguire's all over back. That's important. 23 and 23 flying in the same group, and Gill making the move on Ian Bolton into the first corner, and I think just about makes it stick, but Bolton might have a better run. And here comes a Hailey, car 32, also in Class A. So it's all changes, battles going on everywhere. Every class is up for grabs right now. This is what we like to see. This is the MG Cup at its very, very best, isn't it? This is an absolutely wonderful race. Here comes Baston over the start-finish line. And we still have Whitewick to come over a little bit further back in that glorious MGF. We had a quick chat with him, didn't we, actually, at the end of race one. And just happy to be here, I think, just really, really enjoying himself, having a lovely time, as you certainly would in that car. What better way to spend a Sunday afternoon than racing around the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit?
Especially when it's weather like this. Can't ask for it to be any nicer.
It's safe to say one or two famous names have driven around this track. Ayrton Senna, Nigel Mansell, Ian Waterhouse, Lewis Hamilton, Leon Van Zweel.
I was going to say Jackie Stewart, who had his 82nd birthday this week.
Jackie Stewart, of course.
So happy birthday, Sir Jackie.
Yeah, Elaine Van Zweel as well. Lots of big names. Alan Jones, of course.
Fangio.
Lots of famous names. And here comes Whitewick over the start-finish line now. Not too long, I think, before the leaders start to catch up to Whitewick, and maybe that might throw a bit of a curveball in, because they are just going round the final couple of straights. And then, Williams has got the lead back. Williams has taken lead back, but Butcher's going to try. Williams shuts the door and says, "You're not coming through now, and you're going to make you work for this." William holds the inside line. Wonderful racing. It's edging your seat stuff here at Silverstone. Oh my word, this is wonderful, wonderful. I wonder, be interested to see where Williams got the move done there. And Birchall looks like he's got a bit further on. Where's Dave Harrison?
That's the remaining competitors.
That's Katie Twigger. We've lost Dave Harrison. Oh no, what has happened to Harrison? Are we about to see him appear in the pits, or is he stopped out on the circuit? I'm not seeing any yellow flags or anything anywhere, so it looks like we have lost Dave Harrison from this race. That promotes Kaylee Twigger up to 5th place.
That's a real shame.
No, what a shame that is.
The fight is definitely going to be on now for the lead, though.
It certainly is, and Sterling Parker having a good battle with Tyler. The different classes, but it's a wonderful battle they're having as well. And Sterling Parker getting dicey in his last ever race, gets the job done this time. Gillett Bolton have been right at each other, and Maddie Maguire right in the mix as well. Oh, I am thoroughly enjoying this. We've got 3.5 minutes left to go. I don't want this to end. I really, really don't. It does mean this is the penultimate lap of the race as well.
The lead, I think the lead now could all come down to that middle, that first sector. Who got through Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel the best? Because if Mike has pulled enough of a gap through those few corners, they may not catch him by Stowe. And if they don't catch him by Stowe, I think that could be curtains for Butcher's chance. But if they could keep close enough and keep the fight alive, by the time they get to Stowe at the end of the Hanger Straight, I think he could probably be past him again.
Absolutely. Oh, this is wonderful, wonderful stuff. This is motorsport at its very best, I have to say. This is one of the most entertaining races we've seen for a very, very long time. And believe me, we've seen a lot of entertaining races. We've seen a lot of entertainment this weekend as well. But this is a real cracker right here. It's going to go all the way down to the wire. These Tomcats are coming good. I did fancy the turbos to go well this weekend. And I think, unfortunately, not unfortunately, but I do think Mike Williams has got himself a little bit of a lead now. He's about to come round to start his final lap of this race. There he comes, and he has managed to do exactly what you said, Charles. He's managed to get a bit of a gap. Mike Williams starts in the last lap of the race, Buckley in second, and Simpson in third. It would be great if we could get those three in Parc Fermé, wouldn't it?
Oh, to hear the stories from them, that would be fantastic. I think they're having a brilliant scrap out there.
And of course, there's plenty of other action going on as well. Let's just have a little look. There's Birchall. So Whitewick's been lapped, as you can see there.
Did we find what happened to that missing car? There was no yellows and we've not seen anyone come into the pits yet.
No, I don't know, unfortunately, but Dave Harrison is out of this race, I'm afraid to say. It's not what we wanted to see, but it does happen. It is motorsport. It's a shame because Dave was going very well, but that has promoted Kaylee Twigger up to 5th place now. Williams, fastest lap of the race last time out as well, a 2:37.774. And look, these two have been having a wonderful battle. The car on the right, Wayne Sterling Parker, ever race, and he's having a wonderful battle with Tyler. I believe they're actually different classes. I'm pretty confident Wayne is Class B and Tyler's Class A. We'll get that confirmed for you. But Bolton's got past Maddie Maguire and Gill just behind those two.
Last ever race. I think he might reconsider that after this one.
I hope he does. There goes Wiley over the line. And we must give a big shout out actually to Rod Weston Bartholomew for handing his car over to Wayne Sterling Parker as well for the honour of this final race here today at Silverstone, and of course his final ever race for Wayne Sterling Parker. A wonderful gesture by Rod. There goes Baston. And so here we go, we're just waiting for the checkered flag to fall. It will fall this time around. And here they come, I can just see them going around, and Williams has still got the lead. I think, in fact, he should get the done bar going off at the final corner, which is highly unlikely. But hey, I've just lumped commentator's curse on it, who knows. And here he comes. You're about to appear in your screen.
We got it right.
Two-time winner here at Silverstone. Yeah, Mike Williams takes the checkered flag. He's got his arm out. He had to work for that one, didn't he? Richard Buckley comes home in 2nd. Matthew Simpson in 3rd.
Didn't quite happen as easy as we thought it might.
Well, that was an absolute stunning race. It really, really was.
And I think
exactly what we wanted to see here. What a way to round out the day for us here at My Supercar as well. Yeah. It's not quite over just yet, by the way. We're going to head down to Parc Ferme and see if we can grab a word with. Be great. We can catch up with Mike, Matt, and Richard there as well. There's Peter Birchall. That's Peter Birchall just coming over the line, finishes in 4th place. It's been quite a lonely weekend actually for Peter, isn't it? I do feel a bit for him. He's sort of been out on his own in both race 1 and race 2.
Sometimes
there's Kaylee Twigger coming over the line as well.
Although sometimes some clear track time can be a reward in and of itself.
Yeah. Well, that's very true. Actually, he's probably had a wonderful day. Actually,
a day without traffic is a rare one.
Here comes Whitewick as well. Let's give him a thumbs up. There we go. There you go. I'm liking this. Everybody can actually see us up here. Yeah. You know, I like that. They're all giving us. If you're wondering where we are, we're actually over the racetrack. We're on the gantry. A big thank you to all the officials and marshals here at Silverstone who've allowed us to come up here to film. Here comes Ian Bolton as well. There's Maddie Maguire coming over the line.
So I think then in his last ever race, that could be a class win.
I think it could be. Yeah, Rod was racing in Class B. It's the same car, so I can't see any reason why it wouldn't both be Class B.
Wouldn't be able to change.
So that could be a class victory for Wayne Sterling Parker.
What a way to go out.
Ever race.
Always go out on top if you can.
Exactly. Let's head down. Just want to grab Richard. Richard. Do you remember what you said to me at the start of the day? I need to work out how to go slower, to go faster. I think you figured it out then.
I think I did.
What a race. I mean...
I tell you what, that was epic. That was one of the best races I've ever had. I think that's fun, boys.
I know you probably don't want to talk about it, but at what point in the track did Mike actually get back past you? That's all right. You were probably so intense on it. So did you think you had it? Because he just wouldn't let you go, though, would he?
To be honest, I backed Mike up into Matt a little bit.
Yeah.
And I thought, I hope that the two of them were going to have a bit of a titanic battle, and I just had that little bit. But you can't do it without a bike, can you? No. You don't care what's behind him.
He's so quick, isn't he? He's so quick. Well done, mate. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. Great result. Well done. Well done. Second place for Richard Buckley. Here he is. Top Gun himself. That, oh my word. Bloody hell, what a race that was.
Epic, wasn't it?
Were you thinking, hang on, if these two have a bit of a tussle, it will go off. I've got a clean run to the flag here.
Yeah, well, that's what it was. I thought I'm not going to make any daft moves on Richard and pressure him because then Mike could get away. So if I just stick with them and watch where they're struggling and stuff, then I might, capitalise at the end of the race. But it didn't happen, and it was just an epic race to be in and to watch as well.
It was fantastic, mate.
Yeah.
It was absolutely brilliant. Exactly what the MG Cup's all about, isn't it? Wonderful, wonderful race. Well done, mate. Congratulations.
Thank
this
you.
weekend. I'll see you soon. Yeah. Take care. See you in Donington. Yeah. Right, that's it for the race. Charles, I certainly enjoyed. That was
good.
Epic.
That
What a
was
way
brilliant.
for the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup to finish up. Right, hello everybody and welcome back to Silverstone. We've just come down to the pit lane just to round out the action for you. What a wonderful day we've had with the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup. It's been an absolute cracker here today. I've certainly enjoyed it. Remember, Mike Williams took the honours in race 1 and he also did the same in race 2, didn't he? But it wasn't quite the same. What a race we had in race 2. Charles, did you enjoy it?
Oh, enjoyed it massively, yeah. Like you said, race 2, the race was... He really had to work for that win. You know, the result may have been very similar, but he had to work for it, and that's what makes things exciting, you know. Very close.
He certainly did have to work for it. We've got the race 2 results for you to bring up on screen now, so we just pop that graphic up. I'll just talk you through. There's some wonderful stories in there as well. I'm delighted to say Wayne Sterling Parker on his very final ever race took Class B honours, as you can see, finishing 6th place on the track. So Mike Williams, your race winner, Richard Buckley in 2nd, pushed them all the way, as did Matthew Simpson in 3rd. Peter Birchall coming home in 4th, Katie Twigger in 5th. Wayne Sterling Parker taking 6th and the Class B honours. Steve Tyler's made it a pair of Class A wins as well. Then Ian Bolton in Class A in 8th. John Gill in 9th in Class A. Maddie Maguire coming home 2nd in Class B, 10th on the track. Stephen Hiley in 11th place in Class A. Nigel Baston 12th in Class C, and Chris Whitewick 13th and racing in Class A. Wow. We've had an incredible, incredible day here today. Remember, if you want to find out more about the MG Cup, you can do. There is a link to the Cherished Vehicle Insurance MG Cup website in the body of this text. I implore you to click it and find out more as well.